There's Jake lounging. There's Rem lounging. At least they're lounging. I'm not sure they're totally convinced that I know what I'm doing here. But the movers have just left. The time is now, let's go check that clock in there. It's just after 7. Yeah, the movers have probably been gone half an hour. And here we are, in the midst of chaos. It's wonderful and it's horrible. I just dread what I've got to go through. But here we are, our dining room, with an empty pizza box. This will be my first meal moved into my new home. I've been snacking over here while I've been working, painting and cleaning up and prepping and moving some things and so on. This will consist of leftover pizza on a paper plate. It's still in the microwave. Probably a soda. But wait, well, you can see there's things just kind of randomly stacked all over the place. The kitchen is halfway through the painting process. I didn't finish painting, but I got a lot painted. I painted that wall and the wall that the clock is on. And I managed to paint the wall behind the refrigerator, but not all of the wall. You'll notice that wonderful wallpaper is still there. I did unpack. First thing I unpacked was the microwave. Ta-da! You can see the... I've got to stop saying, there are the newspapers from the microwave, in a frantic frenzy to unpack it so that I could reheat some pizza. The refrigerator got moved in today, and it's full of wonderful nourishing things, such as, for example, milk and pizza. Hopefully that will change soon. There is some stuff in the leftover refrigerator out in the garage, and there's a cooler in my trunk that I still have to open. Meanwhile, there's the side of my dining room, and it only gets worse. So it's not going to be my dining room, this will be my lounge, but I can barely walk through here. There's all the shelves for all the thousands of bookcases. I'm going to have to sort through which goes where. But of course I have to fasten the bookcases to the wall for earthquake proofing first. I come around the corner, more boxes, more bookcases. And there's my comfy cozy couch. Stuff everywhere, totally packed, totally jammed. I kept watching them unpack and unpack and unpack and unpack, thinking, there's no way. Where'd all this stuff come from? Who bought all this stuff? Who owns all this stuff? Where is it gonna go? They started throwing things in a pile here when I couldn't give them good answers on where to put things. I was running out of good answers on where to put things. I don't even think I can give this part of the room justice. This camera is way... You can see we're several layers deep away from the wall here, so I can't even get in there. But there's the new display cabinet in the corner. It looks nice over there. Nice big mirror. Wave to the camera. And here we are back around in the front and the lounging dogs again. And what else do we have? Let's go upstairs in our new home. Here we go up the stairs to the shining light. There's a shining light at the end of the staircase. And coming around the corner into our new wonderful master bedroom. Actually, the living room and the dining room and the office are probably the worst. I have only a small number of boxes here. I can make up the bed and I'll almost be ready to go. Some boxes, most of the wardrobes are already empty. There's just a couple here. But the closet really needs to be redone with multiple levels for shirts and more usable shelving space for what I need it to do and so on. There's the master bath. There's the hallway again. I do have bedroom number 2 set up for a guest room. And so I'd better get some guests because I'm using a lot of space for this. And this isn't too bad either because there isn't very much that I want to store in the guest room. But I haven't entirely decided yet. Why is that dresser not up against the wall? See, I did a clever thing. I marked on the floor with bright green tape where the furniture should go so that I could just kind of tell the movers, yeah, that goes in bedroom number 2 and the big spot reserved for the bed or for the end table. I figured it out pretty much. Pretty much. Put the big closets in there. Hang on, I have a phone call. Alright, that was my mom calling. I've still got this, the old fax machine plugged in upstairs. I've had that plugged in since since escrow closed a month ago, almost. I've had that plugged in here to take messages since I knew my phone number and could give it to people. So Mom just called to see how things are going. She just got out of the hospital herself. She'd been in for 2 days for an operation, and was just calling to check and see how things are going. Now this is what I dread. This is one of the rooms I want to be renting out, and I was using it as a staging area for stuff that I thought would go up in the attic. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe it's not as bad as I dreaded. Maybe it's not too bad. At any rate. And then there was supposed to be nothing labeled with bedroom number 3, but I see we did get one box there. Actually, I sent them up there with that. That's a sleeping bags and bedding or something in there. I'm not sure what that is. Alright, so this is the other room that I want to be renting out, and it is still, fortunately, pretty much empty. So we can go back downstairs here and see what's going on downstairs. This is very hard to film and there's Rem all camped out, all exhausted. They've had a couple of busy days. I don't think they lay down and took a nap all day today. I bet they're as tired as I am, because they usually nap a lot all day. God, look at that living room. It's kind of scary. Wow. Wow. Oops, sorry, Jake. Look at all that stuff. Amazing. Alright, so it looks kind of nice from here, at least through the viewfinder where it's so small I can't really see anything. Alright, so let's go check out the office. The furniture set up very nicely. I was very pleased with myself. There were very few things that I didn't know where to put. Everything seemed to fit very nicely where I had suggested. There's the I was going to get rid of the dog chair, but Jake seemed so happy when the movers brought it in and set it down. He hopped up and he started rolling around in it. So I don't know whether I can get rid of it or not. It's supposed to be replaced by one of these little dog beds, lightweight, easily moved. So there's a bookcase. There's a bookcase in the file cabinet. It's totally obscuring my fireplace back there. You can see this mound of books and computer equipment and stuff to go in the desk. And the desk is all set up very nicely along the side here. I have to make sure I can get cables in underneath for power. So that there's more walls that I managed to just get painted. And Linda happened to fortunately drop by, helped bring over a cooler load and some computer equipment, and got here. She was about to leave as the movers pulled up to this new house, and she and I went frantically to work nailing baseboard back in place and putting electrical outlet covers back on. Oh boy, that was exciting. As they were asking me questions, the movers were asking me questions as I was dashing from baseboard to baseboard, trying to help out. And then of course there's the garage, which is dark. It's going to be dark out there for a moment till I turn on the miracle of light. There we go. There's the garage. Woohoo. Well, I was afraid the garage would totally fill up. It is pretty full. But we distributed everything else, distributed stuff out to the yard and distributed stuff up to the living room and the dining room, for example. None of the shelves are fastened to the walls at the moment because there's no place to fasten them. Those cabinets in the back I wanted to take out and put these shelves that you see upside down here precariously perched on some pieces of wood. But that worked out kind of okay. There's the dog. He just moves around and naps in different places. It's so convenient to have a dog to nap in various places in your house. Every home should have one. And hello, Remington. Am I crazy? Pretty much. And then I did the clever thing, because there's still not shelf paper in all of the shelves. In fact, very few of the shelves. So I had them stack all the kitchen boxes out on the deck. This is the one that scares me. There is not enough cabinet space for all of this stuff, especially if I'm renting out a room, and surely renter will want some cabinet space. It's probably, I'm afraid it's too dark for you to really see this. Just amazing. Alright, that's it. Alright, the time is now 2 in the afternoon on Saturday, March 23rd, 2002. This is the front bedroom that until yesterday afternoon had flowered wallpaper and pink and green plaid wallpaper on it. It now has no wallpaper, though unfortunately on this wall you can kind of see on the right the vinyl stripped off but the paper stayed behind, so we will have to strip the paper, but I think that'll be much easier with that goop, whatever the goop is that you just liquefy and spread on. Here it is. Walls weren't too bad, just as with the front rooms. Let's see if we can actually focus this close up. I can't really tell. The texture, they are textured walls, but they got mudded over before they wallpapered them, so in fact they're going to look like mostly smooth walls. Mostly smooth walls. There's my dirty fingers. And one of the fun things I discovered when I took off the nice sliding mirrored doors on this closet, it didn't occur to me there is a latch plate and the associated hole in the on the frame here. The holes for the hinges and the screws for the hinges are still here. So I think if I'm going to paint and put the door back up, I probably ought to putty those over, which I wasn't exactly anticipating. So now, hi Jake. How's Jake? How's a cute little Jakey dog? And there's Tika looking out the window. They don't get to come up in this front room very often, so this is pretty exciting. Who knows what she sees? Could be a squirrel, could be a cat, could be nothing. But, at any rate, we will move along down the hallway into this room, which I have barely begun to strip. This is not going to be as easy. This stuff strips off reasonably well, the plaid stuff, with a little bit of prodding here and there, though it is also leaving paper behind. But the car stuff just shreds pretty much, as far as I can tell. I'll come around over here. You can see little shreds where I've been trying to get it to strip without having to do the scudgy thing all over it, and then you know, the little roller thing to rough up the surface, and then put the wet chemicals on. But I think I'm going to have to do that. This is going to take a while. And that's all. And it's now about 4 o'clock on Sunday, and this is the front room. You can see the color of the new paint. It's actually the same color as the ceiling paint, which I'm very glad about. I'm glad I decided to have the ceilings painted and that I decided to use the same color paint, because that means I don't have to be careful at all around the edge. So I have just started cutting in the edges with the paint in this front room. You can see only that section's really been done. But there it is with no wallpaper and stuff all taped up. Isn't it lovely? It's just gorgeous, huh? And let's see. I intend to paint the windowsills with fresh gloss paint, although they're very glossy. The problem is that there's damage to them in several places, so I had to patch them up with wood putty. So I'm going to have to go get some high gloss paint and paint these guys. But here's the whole room. Roundabout and roundabout. Try not to step on any dogs or paint cans. And there I am in the shadow. Hi everybody. Woof woof. Woof woof. Alright. Immortalized on film. And here's the room. And right at the moment, well, let's see, Jake I think is chewing on a bone. Are you chewing on a bone, Jake? You got a nice bone, Jake? Jake, what you got? What you got? Do you have a bone? Do you have a bone? He says, I don't know, you're talking to me? He's licking his paws is what he's doing. That's his board licking the paws thing. Tika's actually being a good girl right at the moment. We did go outside and play ball about half an hour ago, at least for a little while. Is that the cutest face you've ever seen? Except for Remington and Jake, who are also the cutest faces you've ever seen. Oh! Uh-oh. And look who else. Rem was lying down too, but he had to come see why I was getting kissy face with Tika. Alright, that was a mistake. Because now the dogs are up and moving around. I already painted Remington's tail once by dripping on it. And had to clean it off. See, I can't really see you from way up there. I have to come down here where I can see you. What do you think? Your face is in the sun, so it's really bright. There you go. Can you get your face out of the sun? Remington, can you say woof? Can you say woof? Yes, good boy. He has to wag his tail too. You're a good dog. Yeah, that's his. Now where's my goodie? I don't understand why you asked me to do that thing. Alright, that's all for the moment. Okay, so now we're going down the hallway where the stuff that hasn't made it into the attic or downstairs yet is sitting. These 4 huge trash bags are the wallpaper that came off the 2 rooms, and also the newspaper that I had spread all over the floor to catch the moisture of the chemical glue remover. I still have to carry all those guys downstairs. There are the spare rolls of all the wallpaper from the rooms I've taken the wallpaper off of yet. Aren't they all lovely? Aren't they just lovely? There's the plaid in the back from the room I just took off. And there's the plaid in the front from the part of the front room. Alright, so let's swing around here, and here's the other bedroom, de-wallpapered. And that was interesting because the wallpaper actually stripped off fairly well in here despite my fears, except, and it also left the paper. So I'm not sure whether it's better if it leaves the paper or not. The paper comes off much more easily when you get it soaked. You don't have to scourge it like you do the paper, plain paper, to get it off. So I didn't have to scourge any paper up here to get it off. But the backing was left, and so I had to first remove the paper, then spray the backing and remove the backing. And oh, there's a dog just like that one in here too. Everything's taped, ready to go. Did find a little crack up there. I decided I'm too lazy to want to tape, so I just spackled. Thousands of pinholes. These guys must have used their walls as bulletin boards, because I spackled and spackled and spackled and spackled and spackled. And this windowsill, I don't know what they did. It looked like they whacked it with a, couldn't have been a hammer, something wide and thin, whacked it repeatedly. So it's all puttied up, so I have to wait for that to dry and sand that too. And I don't know, it's, you know, a room with wallpaper removed, soon to be painted. This one's still drying. Tika's looking for those razor blades again. I know that's not funny. Tika, no. Tika, no. Tika! Get your nose out of there. Alright, this is why you don't leave dogs unattended around anything. Why she would go into a bag and pull out a little cardboard box of razor blades and think that was fun, I don't know. But, and that was days ago, and she's still looking for it. Alright, that's it. And now I'm going to go back to work painting. Well, here it is, Monday night the 25th. And Andrea has been over here with her first load of things. And here's the room, all painted. I don't have the trim completely done yet, but the window shades are back up. I'll put the curtains back up shortly. Doesn't that look much nicer? Doesn't it look kind of less blatantly floral? Can't even tell over there. It's all just white, white, white. And look at that cute thing in the closet. Look at that cute Tika in the closet. Oh. Uh-oh. She senses she's being watched. She senses there might be an opportunity to do something fun. She senses there might be a better place to lie down outside the closet. Alright, so it says a great zoom, but it's not good for close-ups of this magnitude. But no more pink plaid, or I guess people keep telling me it's not plaid, it was quilted sort of thing. And I haven't put the baseboard back on yet, but doesn't that look just, well, okay, it looks white, but it's so much more clean or something. That's it.